So it's a very, very important shloka. Now, in 8 shlokas, the Lord will answer the question of Arjuna. Kim vrajeta? How does he engages his senses? Up till now, in 6 shlokas, we have discussed Kim asita. How does he sit controlling his senses? Now, in 8 shlokas, we will hear how he uses his senses. It's not simply a matter of controlling the senses or restraining the senses, but it is also important to know how to use the senses or employ the senses. Is the theme clear? For the coming 8 shlokas, that means 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71. The 71. And from there, another theme will happen. The 71, we will get the answer, or we hear the answer of the question, Kim Brajeta? How Astitva Pragya, a person whose consciousness is fixed in the absolute, how does he employ his senses? He does not sit idly. That has to be removed from our heart, that a person who is Stita Pragya does not do anything. No, but how he does something, and also in today's shloka, how he gets mercy of the Lord first, and what is the form of that mercy. See, we have some conception of mercy of the Lord or mercy of sadhus, but many people don't understand what does that mercy mean. So we'll understand what is that mercy and how to get that mercy. So those are the things we want to learn from today's shloka. Please chant after me. Raga dvesha vimuktaestu Vishayan indriyaschara Atma vaishir vidheyatma Prasadam adhigacchati Ragadvesha vimuktaestu Vishayan indriyascharan Atma vaishir vidheyatma Prasadam adhigacchati Ragadvesha vimuktaestu Vishayan indriyascharan Atma vashyer vidheyatma Prasadam adhigacchati Ragadvesha vimuktaestu Vishayan indriyascharan Atma vashyer vidheyatma Prasadam adhigacchati. Please chant. Somebody want to chant? Ragadvesha vimuktaestu Vishayan indriyascharan Atma vashyer vidheyatma Prasadam adhigacchati. So synonyms: Raga, attachment; Dvesha, and detachment; Vimuktai, by one who has become free from; Tu, but; Vishayan, sense objects; Indriyai, by the senses; Charan, acting upon; Atmavashai, under one's control; Vidheyatma, one who follows regulated freedom; Prasadam, the mercy of the Lord; Adhigacchati, attains. So let us read the translation. But a person free from all attachment and aversion are able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Can you see the word tu here? So this is very interesting. Why you are saying tu? Tu means but. So now when you say but, it means there is something which was being spoken earlier, but now. So in the previous shlokas, what we have discussed was how a person becomes absorbed in sense gratification if he does not engage his mind in Krishna's service. What was the sequence? Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa, Sangaste Shupajayate, Sanga Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodha Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha, Sammohat Smriti Vibrama, Smriti Viranshat, Buddhi Nasho, Buddhi Nasha Pranashyati. But Now you understand the meaning of but? So, but rag dvesh vimuktastu. But if a person frees himself from rag and dvesh, now we must understand what this meaning, what is the meaning of these words. Rag means attachment and dvesh means detachment. So something, a conditioned soul is experiencing sense objects life after life. Whenever you don't understand, you please raise hand and you say, I don't understand. Because this thing will come almost every time in Bhagavad Gita. So you must understand what is rag and dvesh, because the Lord will tell us to become free from rag and dvesh. So in every life, have we not enjoyed sense objects? Touch, smell, etc. Not knowing Shastra, we were not knowing how and what to enjoy. So every time we enjoy, there is an impression in the mind. So since beginningless time we are trying to enjoy, so certain objects we become attached to, that is called rag. We think this is very good. And certain objects we don't like, that is dvesh. And that depends what is my state of consciousness. If a person is mode of passion, he will like rock music. But a person in mode of goodness will like classical music. This both rag and dvesh. If they have no connection with Krishna, they are all rag and dvesh only. It may be more subtle, but still it is not having connection with Krishna. I just want to love, I love to hear this veena playing. Well, that's good enough, that is mode of goodness. But what is that veena being played in Lord Krishna's kirtan? That has to be thought about. I love to philosophize, that's good. But that philosophy has to do with Krishna. So you see, that also an attachment. Although the mode of goodness person is more or less detached from the world, but he also attached to Sattvat Sanjayate Jnana. He's attached to his knowledge and his sense of being happy. So are you able to understand rag and dvesh? But it is more prominent in a person on mode of passion. More prominent. He will be very much, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. So basically a person who has this rag and dvesh, he will be governed by this rag and dvesh to behave in a certain way. I will do this because I like to do this, and I will not do this because I don't like to do this. And this is how we were living our life earlier. Every day, do you like to wake up? I'm asking now. Every day, do you like to wake up in the morning? No. So what I like to do right now is my attachment. But we don't behave like that. We behave as per Shastra. So that's why Lord is saying, Rag Dvesh Vimuktastu. But if a person follows Shastra, this will come again and again. Again in the 17th chapter will come. If a person follows Shastra and does not follow his Rag and Dvesh, समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है? Does not follow his proclivities, if that is the word in English, or his impulses. Now you understand? Impulse. I feel like doing this. If it feels good, do it. No, don't do it, because it may not be good for you. Just like devotees don't eat meat, they don't do all this. They don't break the regulative principles, even if they feel like. I mean, most of the devotees will not be, must have not drunk liquor and all those things. But even other sense enjoyments, like movies or something which a person might have seen, even if those impressions come up, he does not act on it. This is a very, very important shloka, because then, so what will happen by this? Vishyan Indriyas Charan. Now this is important. Atma Vasher. That means, this is very amazing. This is very difficult to understand also. Vishyan Indriyas Charan Atma Vasher Vidhyatma. Vidhyatma Prabhupada translated that Vidhi Atma. This person is Vidhi. He follows the Vidhi. He lives his life as per Shastra. Now relate with the central part of the shloka, because he lives a life of regulative Krishna consciousness, then Vishyan Indriyas Charan Atma Vasher. Even if the senses are coming in contact with the sense objects, he will not be agitated. It's a very tough thing to understand, because in the beginning attachment will be there, but because he has been a Vidhe Atma, his mind has become purified by prasadam adhigacchati, by getting the mercy of the Lord, or by becoming purified. Obviously by the mercy of the Lord to become purified, the mind is now free from attachment to sense objects. Even externally, senses may be engaged in the sense objects. समझ में आ रहा है? ऊपर से जा रहा है. This is really tough. Because he has followed regulative principles in Krishna consciousness, so the mind has become purified because of the prasadam, because of the mercy of the Lord. So adhigachati means he very nicely gets the mercy of the Lord. How he will get? By following the rules and regulations, even though the mind was not wanting it earlier. But by following the rules and regulations, the mind has become purified. Now, even if externally he sees the sense object, nothing happens. I give the example. Any young boy becomes naturally attracted to a young woman. But I told you the example of a sannyasi told it as you keep on practicing Krishna consciousness, just like you see a door. Can you see the door behind you? Do you have feelings for the door? Nothing. So if a boy does not follow the regulative principles, he cannot attain a stage where he will look at a woman. He may look at a woman, but he will not feel anything. Are you able to understand? Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayasya. If there is no lust in the heart, no matter what so-called sense object is there, you don't feel anything. I'll give an example. If a child, 5-year child, is told about attraction between man and woman, he cannot understand. He has no lust, at least not manifesting in his heart. For him, it's not a problem. But in a particular age, he becomes disturbed. So if that sense object was really a sense object, it should have also attracted the young boy, 5-year-old boy. And 5-year-old boy has his own sense objects, those jhunjhunas, those toys. And don't you laugh at these kids? Is it not? So you have grown up in your consciousness and we have all cried for those toys, is it not? So what I'm giving the example is, if we get purified by the process of Krishna consciousness, and we can only get purified if we are Vidheyatma, if we follow the rule, despite if you don't want to follow the rule. I am so enthusiastic about this shloka. Even if I don't want to follow the rule, my mind does not want to follow the rule. My mind wants to sleep. It wants to eat all the outside food. It wants to watch the movies. That's how everyone's mind is. Most of the conditioned souls, every conditioned soul, mind is like that. But if you hear Guru, Sadhu, Shastra and became Vidheyatma samajh rahe hain? Regulative life. Then only prasadam adhigachati. Then only we can mercy of the Lord. And what is the mercy of the Lord? Then even if the sense objects are there, you don't feel anything. Do you feel it is good? Before I go forward, reflect upon it. If there are desires, only then you will work. If you had no desire to do MBA, will you work so hard as you might be working? And do you think, I'm just giving an example, do you think you have to actually do MBA to survive? You simply have to join ashram to survive. I asked one of my students, if you don't have to marry, do you have to work hard? For a few minutes, he could not speak anything. For a boy, if you don't have to marry, do you have to work hard? How many MBAs name you know? You say, I will become popular. You see, if you actually see that, in my channel, there are 47,000 people. And in one video, not even in one video, I tell you, please subscribe to my channel. Not even one video. There are 1.5 million views of, what is that, Mridanga tutorial, which we made in 18 minutes. You know, the 18-20 minutes, we made the whole video. So if popularity is in your, I don't want to become popular. I'm just saying, if you actually to become popular, you don't have to do an MBA to become popular. Or whatever, work 12 hours like a donkey and then become a popular man. It has to be in their karma, is it not? I was saying, see, I have 2 cars and I have 2 drivers now. It is Krishna's arrangement, is it not? And the amazing thing, I have no desire. I give my own example. I have no desire to sit in the car unless I have to preach. Now you see Krishna's mercy. People buy one car, like my father buy a very small car, and he was too attached to that car. I have 2 cars and I'm not attached to either of them. Now you see, is Krishna's mercy or not? Do you agree? Do you think I'm attached to this office? I have seen even IAS officers don't have such nice office, such really nice, really good office. I'm attached to the office. No, I want to run from here at 10 a.m. I only want to sit here and do Krishna Katha and then run from there. Does it make sense? I am seeing myself, right now I'm seeing like that is happening to me. All the material positions are there, so-called material facilities are there, but we do not become attached to it. But if I would have not followed the principles, then I might be thinking, where is my car? When I will get car? This and that, all those things. I've seen how much people have to work just to get a little bit money. So what I'm trying to say, the mercy of the Lord is when He removes those desires. There is a whole point I wanted to say. The real mercy of the Lord is when that desire for sense gratification is removed. Just see if that desire for marrying is removed, how much suffering you can avoid. Then you will really think, अरे इतनी मेहनत क्यों कर रहा हूँ? You just spend 1 month here, and then you will see, अरे मैं इतनी मेहनत क्यों कर रहा हूँ? Why should I work hard? That's why I encourage the devotees to come here and spend 1 month or 2 months here, and then say, अरे पत्नी तो खाना भी बना के नहीं देती, ना देगी. And here Karnamit is making so much I can't eat also all the items, is it not? What anxiety you feel in Vrindavan? Anish? Rather, he's giving interview to get anxiety. Obviously, he has some loans and etc. to pay, but just think about it, and we have very less life left. So what I'm trying to say, what you must clearly understand, what is the mercy of the Lord? Mercy of the Lord is when He removes the desires for material enjoyment. Finish. And how you get that mercy? With Hey Atma. Follow what Papa is saying. Papa Krishna. Papa is telling you chant Papa means Krishna. You chant Hare Krishna, you hear Bhagavatam, then you will get this mercy. Tamo tada rajas tamo bhava kamalu badayasya. Then you really become happy. Actually, really become happy. The more we become free from this desire for sense gratification, the more we become happy. More happy. More happy. Na shochati, na kangshati. यही तो conditions यही तो कर रहा है. He's lamenting or anchoring. So if you are free from this, you are a liberated soul. Even if you are externally enjoying. I will tell a story about it, but before that, I will again like to bring your attention to the translation of Srila Prabhupada. A person free from all attachment and aversion. So whatever sanskar he has from his previous life, he will not act on that, as per that. And able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom. Now this comes quite interesting. Freedom means no regulation. And Prabhupada uses the word regulative principles of freedom. Is it contradictory? अरे आप तो बंधन में डाल रहे हैं हमको. You are putting us, you are binding us. We have to chant, we have to wake up this much time. Definitely we have to wake up by 4 o'clock. And then all those things. Chant Hare Krishna this much only. And definitely this much. And here class. बंधन में पड़ रहे हैं हम तो. We are becoming bound. No, but by that binding, we are becoming liberated from these sense desires which are binding us to this material world. Does it make sense? Just like a person who is suffering a disease, he becomes bound by the injunction of the doctor to become free from the disease. Otherwise, he will remain caught by the disease. So this is a very important point, regulative principles of freedom. And my dear devotees, this has to be done voluntarily with knowledge. That's why we must hear Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, it may appear, Arey Baba, why we have to do so much austerity? Many times the doctor will prescribe a very difficult prescription. But when a person understands, janleva bimari hai, this is a life-threatening situation, he will follow whatever the doctor tells. Do you agree? And you must understand, this is very frightening way of preaching. But what Srila Prabhupada has told is actually blissful. Going for Mangal Arati, chanting Japa. Once you become accustomed to chanting, you don't feel happy when you complete your rounds by 7 a.m. Yes. You feel so happy, is it not? Like every day is like a task, you know, how we, and it's not like a boring task which your company wala gives, you know, this project. It's a project in itself, you know, chanting 16 rounds and nicely. And every day you can say, "Kal wala to badhiya hua tha, aaj theek se nahi kiya. What happened?" You know, all those things. All the sadhakas have this. Yesterday it was good. Today it was not so good. Or today was good. How can I do it better? What mistakes I did? We have a project in our hand also. But that is very blissful if you actually think about it. And I was also thinking how I cannot speak lies now. I don't know what kind of behavior it has coming to me. But when I heard the sankalpa of some other devotees to not marry, my own sankalpa to not marry became strengthened. अरे प्रभु जी आप तो हो गए ना ब्रह्मचारी. नहीं नहीं, this sankalpa has to be preserved all life. I don't know how, I cannot explain it, but when I see younger devotees saying we will not marry, then I say, oh, young devotees are saying not marry, I will also not marry. What I'm trying to say, this sankalpa gets added when we chant Hare Krishna together in the morning. So when I see other devotees chanting, we also become strengthened. Yeah, we should chant nicely. Why I'm saying this? Because alone we cannot follow this regulative principles of freedom. Finished. We cannot do that. No matter how much you try, one day you don't come to a morning program on Zoom also, and then see how much you can attend Mangal Arati online. It's available online. You won't be able to do it. Guru Puja. Maybe one day you do, 2 days, 3 days. After a week, finished. We need to get the help and sankalpa of other Vaishnavas also, by which we can follow this regulative principles of freedom. समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं? This is very important, and only then we can attain the complete mercy of the Lord. Can you answer me what is the mercy of the Lord? What I explained? All the material desires will be removed, and there will be a desire to serve Krishna and the Vaishnavas only. Again, I am repeating this point. When we have a desire, a very strong desire, only then we work hard to fulfill that desire. The desire has to be strong. Only then we will work hard. Can you see it? Vipin, do you want to marry? Maybe the other one was not. This was not so good. Do you want to marry again? No. So since there is no desire, I mean, he was saved. He got married and then he just left. He's a good boy. He was. Krishna's complete mercy is on you. He was like, we have in mathematics, we have tangent. Tangent. The circle. There is a tangent. So before getting entangled into the circle of material life, he was like, he just got removed tangentially. He just was intelligent enough. ऐसी बातें बोलेंगे तो मेरा लेक्चर कोई सुनेगा नहीं. But in every life we have married. You don't know how many wives I had and how many husbands I have in my previous lives. So many lives. What's new thing about it? Be revolutionary. So what we should try to see, complete mercy of the Lord. Before I go forward, think about the same shloka. See, shloka is very simple. If you start contemplating, it becomes very nice. A person who chants japa in this life, I become ready to him. Apply the shloka here. Krishna becomes eager to bestow his mercy on a person who chants Hare Krishna. So the most important regulative principle is chanting or japa, chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And you must be feeling it in all my training. My first and foremost training is to make a person serious in his efforts to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Everything will manifest after that. Everything. I am not giving you this benediction. Mahaprabhu himself is saying, if you do this chanting Hare Krishna nicely, every kind of siddhi will come to you. Even if you want material siddhis, but don't desire material siddhis. What is the value? If you can become smaller than the smallest, what is the point? Anyhow, we are smaller than the smallest as Atma. So don't desire that. If you want that, Krishna will also can give you that, but we don't want that. Okay? So what is the complete mercy? Krishna, let there be no sprout of material desire in my heart. That's what Prahlad Maharaj explained. He prayed for, O Lord, O Varadarshabha, O the best among the person who can give benedictions, my Lord, let there be no sprout of material desires. Do you think if you have no material desires, it will be very easy to do bhakti? Do you think that doing bhakti you will get mercy of the Lord? Now you understand what we are talking about? So we should always pray to Krishna. Krishna, keep me fixed in bhakti, because this is prayer of Narad Muni. Just keep me sthira and sthita pragya, sthira. You keep me fixed in bhakti, because simply by execution of bhakti, everything comes to a devotee. This should be our prayer. Bhakti banaye rakhi, bhakti mein sthir rakhi. Every day I can just practice Krishna consciousness. We should be happy also, even if we can do that. You must be seeing on Zoom how many devotees are not that sthita pragya. Coming, not coming, not coming, and then coming, and then not coming like that. And what they say, I really want to come. But if you actually really want to come, you will come. So still that really want to come has not come in their heart. Are you able to understand? If in this life we want to do something, really want to do something, don't we do that thing? There is no excuse. If you really want to do something, you will do that. So still there is really want to do that bhakti is still not coming. So you should, again, if not coming, still you should associate with Vaishnavas who really want to do bhakti. then suddenly you will really want to do bhakti. मेरी बातें समझ में आ रही है ना? Okay. Gita Bhushan commentary. If one conquers the mind, there is no fault, even if the senses are not subdued. In 8 verses, the Lord answers the last question: how does the Sthita Pragya engage in actions of the senses? This is amazing. It's bewildering also. The senses are engaged and mind is controlled. How it will work? You understand? Even if the senses are engaged in perceiving the outside world, there is no desire to enjoy. So there is no degradation. I will tell you a small story. This is in Gopal Tapani Upanishad. So the gopis had to cross Yamuna to sell their buttermilk and all that. So Krishna told that go to Yamuna and tell Yamuna Krishna is brahmachari. Gopis could not understand it. Brahmachari, you are associating with so many girls and you are saying you are brahmachari. Every day you are doing Ras Leela and you are saying brahmachari. It's an Upanishad actually. Fine. They went to Yamuna and said Krishna is brahmachari. And Yamuna gave way and they went through that. Actual story. Now when they went there, they met Durvasa Muni on the other side. And they had taken some presentations, some food items, all that, to give to Durvasa Muni. So then Durvasa Muni ate very nicely. Full, everything what they had. Then they had a problem. How will they return? Yamuna is there. Then say Durvasa Muni told, you tell to Yamuna, Durvasa is Durvahari. Durvasa only eats grasses. They are more bewildered. Just now you had a big feast and you are saying, but anyhow this told to Yamuna that Durvasa is Durvahari. He eats only grasses. And actually Yamuna gave way and they came back. The explanation is, Krishna, although he is with the gopis, he has no desire to enjoy them. And Durvasa, although he is eating food, he has no desire to enjoy that food. Now you are able to understand? Obviously, Krishna is in his own situation, but similarly, you will see in the case of Kardam Muni. Kardam Muni was practicing austerity, Mother Devahuti was married to him, and for a long time she was completely neglected by Kardam Muni because he was absorbed in his austerities. So he got the complete mercy of the Lord. Now see this. Kardam Muni was later on, then say he saw, oh my wife is so much in anxiety and her body is decapacitated, in weak condition, I have not neglected her. And being pleased by her service, he asked her, what benedictions do you want? Then she said that I want a son, I want progeny through you, like that. And obviously then she had to have a good body also. Then he, by his yogic powers, he gave her the good body. So now then he associated with her, but it's very nicely mentioned in Bhagavatam, Alupta Mahima. Alupta means not lost and Mahima means glory. Although he was externally associating with his wife, but he was not having that sense enjoyment mentality. So we have examples from Bhagavatam also. Then also we have example of Markandeya Rishi, where in front of him all the Apsaras were dancing. So he saw the Apsaras, but he had no desire to enjoy. His mind was completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Same thing. Did Haridas Thakur not see Lakahira? Did he not see Maya Devi? He saw all those things, but because his mind has lost that conception of enjoying the sense objects because of the mercy of the Lord, so even if the senses are there externally in contact with the sense objects, he is not affected by it. Should I give a gross example? If you see a stool, do you see, oh nice, what a nice thing is there, what a big feast I'm going to have. Prabhuji, almost about time for prasadam. What kind of examples you are giving? But you know, a living entity which is called a pig, when he sees a stool, he says, oh, whatever he says, whatever prayers he will say. So you see, it's all a matter of mind or not. Both are living entities. We are also living entities and he is also a living entity. But because of lower, very extremely low grade consciousness, he feels very happy seeing those sense objects. Are you able to understand? So by the purification of consciousness, which happens by following a regulative principles, person, even though externally this world, is not of this world. Okay? It has just been said that even if one has conquered the external senses, if he does not offer his mind to me, his spiritual endeavor will be failure. What was the word? Matparha. Yukta asit matparha. He controls his senses. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asit matparha. The person who's Sthita Pragya, he controls all his senses, he does not allow them to engage in sense gratification, and Yuktaha, he is engaged, Matparha, he engages his senses in Krishna Seva. So by that, the mind becomes purified. And then a stage comes where the mind, even externally in sense objects, the senses are in contact with sense objects, the mind is not affected. I've given so many examples, I think now you understand. So if it is not done, then there's always a chance, because the mind, externally the senses are controlled, but the mind is meditating on sense objects. Happened with Vishwamitra. Are you able to relate all so much information I'm giving you in this small thing? This may appear very simple shloka, but it's very, very nice. That person offering his mind to me with Hey Atma achieves destruction of the impurities of the mind, such as attachment to pleasure. So now how Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan has explained this? Vidhe Atma. Atma means mind, and Vidhi means he fixes the mind on Krishna. That is a Vidhi. That is Sadhana Bhakti. We constantly fix our mind on Krishna. Just the same thing I was hearing today by Maharaj. When were you hearing it? We did not see you hearing it. In the bathroom. When Prahlad Maharaj can hear in the womb, I can't see here in the bathroom. Yes, he can hear. Very nicely, Maharaj mentioned this point. What is the meaning of holding to the lotus feet of Krishna? मतलब क्या है? चरण कमल को पकड़ना. Where is the lotus feet of Krishna where we can hold to? So, very, very nicely explained. If your mind is going to Krishna, then you are holding to the lotus feet of Krishna. Now, first the Lord is appearing in your mind, then He'll in front of your eyes, and later on you can also give Him embrace. So this all fixing of mind, is it not right now you must be thinking of prasadam or thinking about the shloka here? Thinking about the shloka. Then you can think about prasadam, and then you can think about service. So in this way, in different ways we engage our mind in serving Krishna. But most importantly, Shravanam Kirtanam. So if the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, naturally the mind coming in contact with Krishna will get removed of its impurity. And what is an impurity? Somehow that this sense object can make me happy. I want to say this is, I've had interaction with one devotee who was working for 12 hours. And he's a CA. I will not name, but I'm just, by my interaction, what did I learn? So CA is very difficult exam. I don't know how difficult it is because I've never tried for it, but it's difficult. Now that devotee does not want to work. That person has to work for 12 hours. So he should reflect in his life. At some point in my life, I thought that by becoming a CA, I'll become very happy. Now you have got that CA. You've got your sense object. And now you're not happy. It's nothing to do with CA, with my IIT also. Any sense object, we become focused and we work hard. And when we get it, what do we realize? It is not satisfying me. This is for any sense object. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending, anything. So learn from your life. Do not waste. I'm telling you that, not only telling to that person, to everyone. See in your life whatever sense objects I have tried for, even if I got them, I was not happy. So that's why I should follow the regulative principles of freedom, by which I can become free from these aspirations that by material engagements or material sense gratification I'll become happy. पता नहीं मेरी बातें समझ में आ रही कि नहीं. Just two subtle points to be understood. All of us have tried for sense gratification in some way or other, but we never became happy by any of them. So at least now we should understand. इतना तो बुद्धि लगाना चाहिए. अरे हर बार गलत deal मिली मेरे को. I always got a wrong deal. Like I ordered a mic or thinking it was very good. It was useless. Now should I buy the same mic again? And again and again and again and again and again? Then I will be really foolish. And thinking maybe this time it will be good. I think you can relate to what I'm trying to say. Why should we follow these regulative principles? And now, even now, how much happy we are practicing bhakti. Just practicing bhakti. You don't feel any happiness. You don't feel any peace in the heart. Everybody feels. So just imagine if you can practice it for 150 years, 200 years. Hey Prabhuji, dimag kharab hai kya aapka? 200 years, how we can practice? 2000 years? Yes, you can practice. Once you have come to bhakti, Krishna give you more and more chances, even if you don't go back to Godhead in one life. And you become more and more strong, you become more and more attached to Krishna, and even now it is so blissful and so nice. What is the proof? None of you are going to get 1 rupee from this Bhagavad Gita class. But you're coming because you like it. I do it because I like it. Does it make sense? आपको दिख रहा है ना, by following the regulative principles of freedom, we are actually becoming free and we are becoming happy. So this should motivate us to continue the process. And this should be our highest priority. This only will make us happy. So I was explaining on this point, Vidheyatma. The mind has to be brought in contact with the Supreme Lord. By that impurity of mind, that this is very good sense object will be removed. Clear? Even though experiencing Charan, the forbidden sense objects by the senses, he finally attains a pure mind, prasadam, from the appearance of contamination of attraction to sense objects. So you have understood this point. We have discussed this, that once a person is following the regulative principles, his mind becomes pure by the mercy of the Lord. So even if, like a brahmachari should not see a woman, but then when you are moving around, can you avoid seeing that? But a person who is chanting Hare Krishna nicely, reading Bhagavatam, as he gets purified, it doesn't matter to him. अब तो समझ में आ गया मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ. No, prasad can means purity as well as mercy. So the Lord is telling us how we can get the purity of mind or how we can get His mercy, which means the same. Mercy of the Lord means pure consciousness by which we can understand I am not this body, I am a PhD, permanent Haridas. See, so all of us have to get PhD degree, but not permanent head damage where I think I am a very great scholar. Just think about it. Just if you are actually a PhD or whatever, MA or BTech like me, all things are so foolish in context of Atma. What Atma has to do with BTech, B.Ed or whatever you may have to do. For पेट पालने के लिए जो कुछ करना चाहे करें. You may just to feed yourself, you may do all those things. But even to do all those things just to feed his stomach is so foolish. One devotee is reading zoology and he has to read Darwin theory in detail. Can you imagine? You know this is nonsense. Just to get some grades, you have to read that. Our devotees MSc in mathematics, you know all the nonsense you must have read, including myself, all this calculus and integral calculus and all this. You think just they waste your time. They will not feed your stomach also. I feel very bad, this is very bad. This is a waste of time. You don't, roti bhi nahi milegi. And what to talk of purity of mind. Anyways, this is because the senses are now devoid of attraction and repulsion under the control of the mind, Atma Vashaya, which is offered to me. So because the mind is offered to Krishna, so then there is no attraction or repulsion to sense objects. Attraction is only for Krishna. You must have noticed that sometimes we can, or many times we can understand that like a person who has no attraction for chanting in the beginning, he will chant Hare Krishna, but the mind will goes to, he chant Hare Krishna, the mind is in sense object. You can understand this? There is a sense object which is being created by himself only, which is sound, but he is not attracted to Hare Krishna in the beginning stages. So his mind will go to sense objects. Now reverse it. Can you reverse it now? As becoming, he gets purified, because anyhow somebody chants, he'll get purified. Then even external sense objects are there, his mind is on Krishna. Now you get it? That is what being spoken here. But we must follow the rule. And like a, how to say that? Like a person who does gym, I will do this many push-ups. Not less. Not 100, not less than 100. This is how one has to do. And it may be difficult in the beginning, but you will actually become accustomed to it. Just see, like Natwar Prabhu is the same age as me, almost like same age. And he can only do 2 Surya Namaskar. I can easily do 20 also. I only do 12, but it's just very easy, is it not? So, but when I first did Surya Namaskar, 3 or 4, anybody can feel that. But now if I don't do it, then my body pains. Similarly, a person may find it difficult to chant 16 rounds. Maybe he will feel his tongue is coming out or like that in the beginning. But then we don't. When on some day somehow that you cannot chant because of illness, you become more disturbed by that. So like this. So you understand, this shows purification of consciousness. Purport. It is already explained that one may externally control the senses by some artificial process, but unless the senses are engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is every chance of a fall. Do you understand this? Why? Because the mind has that hopes I can somehow then enjoy sense gratification, I'll be happy. Asha Pasha. You understand this word? Asha means hopes and Pasha means chains. The hopes that by some material arrangement I'll become happy. And we must admit that still we have some. We may not be acting on it, but in the mind we tend to feel that this is not that bad. But it is becoming weekend. Weekend समझ रहे हैं? Weekend नहीं. WEAKENED. It becomes becoming lesser and lesser and lesser. And gross things obviously we are done away with, and subtle things also. Just like I would like to become not that bad if I can be a little bit famous, if I can get some appreciation. Nothing will satisfy the soul. So using our intelligence, one should not work for that. Oh, somebody was not checking. Net went off. See if it is. It is. It should come. Last class के last भाग में क्यों परेशान कर रहा है? Okay. So we have discussed this point that because the mind is not fixed in Krishna, there is chance of fall. That has been discussed. Because the mind will again begin to think about sense objects and finish, and then the senses will again engage in sense gratification. So, but for a devotee whose mind is offered to Krishna, there is no chance for fall. That is all I explained. I don't have to explain again. If there is some doubt, I can explain again. Because the mind is now developing a taste to relish Krishna, so the mind will not think of sense objects. Because he has developed a higher taste. Rasa Varjam, all those slokas we have discussed. So even if the sense objects are there, he won't be affected by it. Internally we are fixed in Krishna. And we are acting as per and outside also, even if he is in contact with sense objects, he does not become affected by it. There's an example from Srila Prabhupada's life, very difficult, but I would like to say this. One time Prabhupada was invited to some kind of a museum or some art gallery, and anyhow that person was a little strange, and he had put some strange pictures. I don't want to describe it more, but sannyasis were getting disturbed, and Prabhupada was saying, very beautiful. He was not getting disturbed by seeing those pictures, because this is amazing. We cannot understand how Prabhupada is actually looking at the world. He will see anything and he will think of Krishna only. Anything of he will think of Krishna. Sthavar Jangam dekhe na dekhe tar murti sarvatra hoy tar ishtadev spurti. So if that consciousness we are, then we don't get disturbed. Just like also example is there, Naradji. You know Kayadru? So Kayadru was staying in the ashram of Naradji, and Naradji was a brahmachari. But this should not be imitated by anybody else. Because Naradji is a fully liberated soul. He is not having all this lust and everything. Lust cannot come in his heart. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? So for a normal person like us, Prabhupada very simply says, nobody should think himself liberated in the presence of a young, beautiful woman. But that doesn't apply to Naradji or to Srila Prabhupada. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Even if the sense objects are there, their mind is in Krishna, it cannot get affected. But not to be imitated by us. Although the person in full Krishna consciousness may apparently be on the sensual plane, because of his being Krishna conscious, he has no attachment to sensual activities. This was a very mysterious line for me earlier. Now I think it's not a mystery, you understand? He may be externally engaged with his senses, with the sense objects, but he has no desire to enjoy them. नहीं समझ में आया Kardam, we give the example of Kardam Muni. और किसका example दिया था मैंने? Also, Shivji, Lord Shiva is having his wife on his lap and is speaking on Vairagya to those who are actually Vairagis. That's quite amazing. So now we have so many examples, is it not? You understand this? The Krishna conscious, again, Vaikuntha is mentioned, the same thing. The women are so beautiful, it cannot be explained. And then the males are also very beautiful, but they have no attraction because they have attraction for Krishna Katha. Very nicely explained in Bhagavatam. So all the sense objects are there, but it is no desire for sense gratification. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. So he has anyabhilashita shunyam. He has no desire for sense gratification. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. That's quite good. We can understand what is the meaning of transcendental to attachment, material attachment, but what is the meaning of transcendental to detachment? Sometime a person may be detached from the material world, that's easy to understand, but he may be attached to his detachment. You understand? Oh, I will not accept money. I will not accept followers. I will not do this. I will not do this. I will get bound. But what Srila Prabhupada was saying, no, a devotee can use everything for Krishna's service. So he is not attached to his attachment. He is not attached to his detachment. He is attached to Krishna and service to Krishna. Clear? And when this ISKCON Vrindavan was getting built, so Guru Kripa Prabhu told Prabhupada, I can bring money but for temple, but it is black money. And Prabhupada said, whether it is black or white is all Krishna. It's Krishna's money, so you bring and only use it in Krishna's temple. Okay, another example, you know about Ranganath temple? It was built by a saint who was himself living in poverty, but his students were actually burglars, dacoits, and they will go and steal money and bring to him and he will use it for temple. But he himself was so announced. Now you understand? It's strange how devotees can actually act. Not to be tried at home, don't do that. Police will catch you. And people were thinking, they might be thinking also, no, that this is happening, but how they can say he is not stealing any money with him? He's living like a poor man only. Very interesting. If Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Beautiful point. Yudhishthira Maharaj, very beautiful example. Yudhishthira Maharaj understood that Krishna wants him to rule this world. So he ruled the world. And when Krishna left, he understood now Krishna wants him to withdraw. Then he was not attached to his kingdom. Immediately he left. You know, in Bhagavatam we're going to read that as soon as Yudhishthira Maharaj heard that Krishna has left this material world, gone back to his abode, he gave the kingdom immediately to Parikshit Maharaj and left. So you see, now you understand how Yudhishthira Maharaj was not attached to kingdom. He was attached to pleasing Krishna. Make sense? I think so many examples now you can understand. And from this you can understand Yudhishthira Maharaj externally may be visible as a big king or something like that, but he was not attached to enjoying the kingdom. He was simply identifying himself as a servant of Krishna, humbly serving the Lord in the capacity of a king. Does it make sense? Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. So what does it mean? The direction of Krishna comes through Shastra. Very simple. We also can be like this. We will not take anything which is not prasadam. So then we are acting as per our will, as per Krishna's direction. So it's not बहुत complicated नहीं है. What is the direction of Krishna? Krishna's direction is very clearly given in Bhagavad Gita. You become my devotee, you serve me, you think of me, you pay obeisances to me. So we pay obeisances to Krishna. Does it make sense? This consciousness is the causeless mercy of the Lord which the devotee can achieve in spite of his being attached to the sensual platform. So even if he may not be fully, coming out of the body, he has this body, but he has this capacity, beautifully, he has this capacity to say no to Maya and yes to Krishna and do as per Krishna's instruction. This is not an easy task. Every time, every moment. Every time lead a life which will be pleasing to Krishna. When we practice regulative principles of freedom, that means bhakti, Vedic bhakti, then we become more and more free from mundane modes of material nature which push us to do things which are not good for us. The modes of ignorance and passion will force us to do things which we don't want to do. Is it not? यही तो problem है नहीं. So now by the mercy of the Lord, because he has listened to the Lord in the beginning, through the instruction of spiritual master, now he gets the mercy of the Lord where he is not influenced by these modes of passion and ignorance. He can very easily execute the will of the Lord as expressed by the Lord in Shastra. And also, Lord will guide him within the heart only. Do like this, do like this, do like this. I think you're getting what I'm trying to say. So he basically, in simple words, he gets a taste for Krishna consciousness. It's not a burden which he has to just lift or something like that. I hope something was coming. Sometimes voice is breaking in between. Now we are breaking the voice completely. We want to stop the lecture. Hopefully you have understood something, but it's a very important shloka. Why? Because unless I am vidhe atma, unless I am humbly becoming obedient to follow the sadhana process, we cannot get the mercy of the Lord. Obviously, there is a possibility the Lord can give you mercy out of His own, which also happens, but may not happen for most of us. The example is given in Brihad Bhagavatamrit. A Brahmana may come to your home and you may give him cooked food. And that is called Krishna's mercy. Spontaneously. But many times or most of the time he is given Seedha Chawal. That means uncooked rice dal which he has to cook himself. So for most people, the mercy of Krishna will happen when they follow sadhana bhakti. He can't just sit and wait, oh, when Krishna will do mercy, he will give me love of God. Normally, Krishna does not do like that. So one has to work, slog it out, so to speak. But you don't, आपका फेन मुंह से बाहर नहीं आएगा. If you actually do bhakti, you work hard for bhakti, you will not foam from your mouth. समझ में आ रहा है ना? ये simply have to chant Hare Krishna. थोड़ा गर्म पानी पीजिए और जब कीजिए. If your tongue becomes tired, just drink some hot water and chant Hare Krishna. As we have read here, by following regular principles, we can cross this rag and dvesh. But how can one person efficiently follow this principle? For a neophyte, it is very difficult. So you answered your question yourself. It is difficult, but you did not say it is impossible. Did you say it is? It is. How can one person efficiently follow these principles? I am changing your question. For a neophyte, it is impossible. Is it impossible? If it is impossible, how you are following it? Simple. Is it not how am I following it? How all the devotees are following it? How the babies are following it? Babies, you understand? Babies in Krishna consciousness. Actually, the regime which you are following, all the devotees are following, people will go crazy from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. And now you get prasad, if at all, if you don't have to cook. Otherwise, if you have to cook, then half an hour, at least 45 minutes more late.
Yesterday, I got a feedback from one of my relatives that you are just engaging 14 hours of your daily time.
Yeah, so the one devotee was giving feedback to our Anish Prabhu, you are engaging 14 hours in Krishna's service. He said, no, we are fallen souls. We are supposed to engage 24 hours. We are still 14% only. Or 50, how much is the percentage? Whatever, 60%. We are only 60% Krishna conscious. But do you feel by association of Vaishnavas it becomes so easy? See, you can see for yourself and then you will see your priorities. If I tell you to read Bhagavad Gita, very difficult to read 1 hour per day. I can give a challenge to all of you. And see, every day we are reading 1 hour every day. And really, how much again? Time. And we will never read that deep also. So that's why I was telling to one devotee, the way I read is by teaching. And then I learned so many things. I must tell you many points which I told you I have not prepared. Kardam Muni and all those things I just did not prepare. Krishna inspires those examples when I give the class. Even Durvasa Muni was not thinking to speak. Just came. So I'm just saying Krishna actually becomes happy by these discussions, which he himself says in the 10th chapter. And he destroys the ignorance in our heart. Just keep on continuing with that and you'll see how so many desires will just evaporate from your heart. You must be experiencing also. But just imagine from 3 a.m. or 3:30 actually, you have been waking up and you're like 6 hours now. Just see our consciousness when it was not Krishna conscious. As soon as you wake up, what we want? Bed tea. If you were accustomed to that. So it's very powerful. And again you are saying, अरे अब इस व्यक्ति को दोबारा सुनना पड़ेगा 6:30 बजे शाम को. I hope you are not feeling like that, is it not? There must be some eagerness. आज क्या होगा? I also feel like that when I go to prepare class. What will be in the commentaries? What will Srila Girdhar Lal say? What did Srila Vishwanath Prabhupada will tell? What will Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will say? It's always nice and always ever fresh. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also always nice. And there is so much to teach you. I want to teach Madhur Kadamini. I want to teach Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and so many desires. Maybe in this life we can finish. So I think there are no questions. So, but you are experiencing it, that it is good. One point point I wanted to say again. We have experienced that material sense gratification has not made us happy. I also tried so much for IIT, is it not? 3 years almost for trying, and then 4 years wasting my time studying there. 7 years. And I know how miserable I was studying all these useless things, which I don't remember at all. I don't even remember the subjects. Only chemistry I remember, because chemistry I failed because of the harmonium. It was the most easy subject, but I anyhow did not like chemistry, and I played harmonium so much I just failed in that. Then again I have to do my course like that. But it was miserable. Getting good grades also does not make you happy. It doesn't. I was like a sthita pragya. कुछ भी mark आए, अगर मेरे को तो आश्रम join करना, who cares? But it was really boring. Studying a material thing is really boring. So I was thinking, क्यों मेहनत किया इतना IIT में जाने के लिए? From that you should understand, material sense gratification cannot make us happy. So if you have some plans, you think what results you'll get from those plans. So shall I stop here? Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.